and welcome to UGA on the scene. I don't know. I just made that up. It sounded good in my head. But no. So, today, we are... By the way, Corey, you're not in the shot. Does that matter? Okay.
Do you need to reshoot this?
No, he's just going to keep going. They'll fix it in editing.
Okay.
That's what editing's for.
That's true.
That's why...
Hey, my boss doesn't understand that.
He doesn't understand that?
It's a lot to think about. We will leave that on another day. Okay.
Oh, well, I'm just saying. You got to understand that editing happens every once in a while for mess-ups. Because...
You'd be surprised. You just call record. Where's my video? Why isn't it uploaded? Well, I gotta pull it off the card. But it's 2019. It's 2019. Okay. Yes.
You know, I find that people either are like very much in the past, or they think because it's like 2000. Yeah, they're like way in the future.
They're like, well, can't you just do it from your camera and like put it on YouTube right now? I'm like, I mean, I could, but you cussed a lot on that. I can't put that in front of the kids, you know.
I mean, you never know. And these days, you know, kids have seen a lot.
That's true.
But no, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yes. My name is Melissa Ng. I go by Mel, and my cosplay name is Dahmelimelon Cosplay. Not the million. It's Dahmelimelon.
Okay. All right. So, first things first, what got you started into cosplay?
Let me see. Well, I've been going to conventions since maybe about back in like 2008. Okay. Like back like when Onicon and everything was like in Houston, like ages ago. Okay. But I was like an itty bit, and I've been... You know, you just go and you're like, wow, this is so cool. That's Inuyasha walking around. Oh my god, is that Naruto walking? But, you know, being so young, you're like, you don't even think about how to even make that happen. You know, you see it and you just enjoy it. So fast forward about back in like 2014. That's when I actually started thinking, well, you know what? I'm going to get a sewing machine because YouTube is accessible and it'll teach me everything. So I got my first sewing machine and I made my first cosplay. It was kind of more of a fan-made design. It's my neighbor Totoro. It's the Totoro himself. Okay. But I thought, I didn't want to just make something where it's like, you know, like a t-shirt and a skirt. So I said, well, what's cute? So I did a Totoro maid outfit. So it was like the gray, but the apron had the markings on it. And on the serving tray was all his little friends in like a little forest area. That's so cool. Honestly, after that, I just got so many like good remarks from it, and it was just so much fun knowing that I started with a piece of fabric and it turned into a costume. So ever since then, it just took off from there. Oh, that's pretty awesome. So, how many cosplays have you done so far? Oh, how many? That's kind of tough. So, on average, maybe I pump out at least like 5 or 6 like solid, like, you know, like full outfit with weapon cosplay every year. So that would make me about... maybe at least 15 solid one, and then I do a lot of casual stuff too. At the beach scenes, you know, or let's say Boku no Hero goes to like the ice cream shop, you know, cute stuff like that. But on about 15 to 20 solid, like from scratch to final product cosplays. Okay. And are you like the only person who makes each and every one of your cosplays, or do you for the most part, everything for sure, like, I haven't actually commissioned anybody quite yet. There may be, like, the occasional time where, it's easier if I buy a pair of stocking, or it'd be easier if I go on Amazon real quick to buy, like, you know, just something really simple, like some suspenders or something. But other than that, if it's capable of me taking it from scratch, like fabric, the bolt of fabric, through the machine, maybe taking, like, even, like, they call it EVA foam, or like the yoga mat stuff, cut it up, make it into armor. I'll do everything from scratch still. Okay. And for like those of people who are going to listen to this, of course they would kick me if I didn't ask this. So how would you like coach someone or recommend someone to get started cosplaying? Oh, that's a good one. Well, it just depends. For me, I say is do what you like. Do what makes you happy, what you love. A lot of people cosplay the characters because they feel a special connection to them, or that's my top tier waifu, you know. So, but honestly, just have fun and do what you enjoy. A lot of people have this elitist mentality saying if you don't make it from scratch, you're not a real cosplayer. Absolutely not. To me, even if it's going on eBay and buying your favorite Naruto costume and running around at a con, go for it. So, for starting off, just find what makes you happy. If you like to sew and craft, go with that route. If you just want to dress up with a group of friends and laugh, go with that too. You'll find your inner passion through it, honestly. Okay. And for the characters that you typically cosplay, are they characters that you have a personal bond with, or? For the the most part, for me, I guess like a niche that a lot of people have been noticing that I kind of never realized until recently is I tend to take characters and kind of like give a spin-off to it. So one of my recent cosplay is actually Diva from Overwatch.
Okay.
But we've all seen the bodysuit one walking around, which is nothing wrong. I think it's amazing. But I thought, well, what's something that I like a lot that I can put onto like a diva, right? Okay. Like what would express her personality? So I thought, okay, she's theoretically like a Korean gamer, right? Well, what's popular in Korea? K-pop. So I thought, okay, well maybe I can make her into an idol. So I took the concept and design of Diva, like the color scheme and everything, and turned it into like a Love Live kind of base idol outfit for her.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, thanks.
So what it sounds like is you take some of the characters directly like off the page or out of the comic strip or out of the anime that they're in, and you kind of make them more real.
In a way, right, exactly. So when some people say like, well, do you feel like you are the character when I'm cosplaying? It's like yes and no. I feel like I can express the personality, but I still have a lot of me within the cosplay itself. Some people are super hardcore, which I really admire that they become the physical character, and I think that's just remarkable. But me personally, it's more of the making process and the having fun within it.
Okay, so while cosplaying, what has been your best experience so far?
Definitely meeting new people. So since I started back in 2014, that's about a year since I graduated, and so a lot of my friends from high school, we all kind of branched off, went to our own schools or went to our different paths of life, and I kind of felt like that empty feeling when I was in college. I was in the same major as a lot of people, but being at University of Houston, as a commuter, you go, you come home, you don't really have that bond with anybody. So what ended up happening was when I got into cosplay, I started making maybe one or two friends, and from there, they knew people, and it spread. I actually ended up meeting my boyfriend, as of right now, through cosplay. He was a photographer, and he introduced me to new people, and the best experience is just knowing how far you can branch out. I have friends from like all over the world now. I have friends that I cosplay with in groups in Toronto. I travel to Phoenix to cosplay now, San Diego. We are even setting up stuff to even do more. So I think that's the, most amazing part that cosplay has brought to me. It's just the people you meet, the friends that you make, and the experience and memories you create from it.
That's pretty awesome. So with also meeting all these people from all over the world and things like that, you already pump out like 5 to 6 cosplays a year. Are you helping other people as well, like make their cosplays or design their cosplays?
Yes, definitely. So what's really neat is, I remember when I first started off, I would, again, watch YouTube or, kind of like admire the locals. Like, wow, she made that, And it's amazing how friendly some of these professionals are. Like, there's this one girl in the community, and she's super well known for a lot of her Overwatch cosplays. And I met her at DreamHack 2 years ago, and I said, hey, I've been following you up. Your stuff is amazing. She goes, oh, I like your costume too, because we entered the same contest. She goes, if you ever need help, here's my contact, and let's chat. And just knowing that someone passed that down to me was such a good feeling. And now that I'm, a little bit more seasoned into the community, I had people ask me, hey, how do you go about making this? Or, hey, I'm kind of stumped. I really don't know how to make these ears, and knowing that I can pass on those information. So it's really cool. So definitely nice that there's a trend going, just passing it down to people. Okay,
so that's like tons of good stuff with cosplaying. But what has been like one of your worst experiences cosplaying?
When it comes to worst, well, it's definitely how you make up things, because of course you can take a bad situation and turn it tragic, or you can take a bad experience, just brush it off, and you learn from it.
Okay.
I say one of the worst ones would have to be kind of just the toxicity that comes with it, because as we know, once you find a niche that people like, such as cosplay, people are going to try to get fame out of it. That's anybody, rather it be famous in gaming, famous in YouTubing, anything, right?
Yeah, I think that's like the day and age that we live in, if you could do something that you enjoy and make money from it, then
why not, right? Because, everybody's 8 to 4 job. That's tiring, you know what I'm saying?
Exhausting. And some people, it's like 9 to 9. Or at least feels that way.
Right, exactly. So, with that, of course, comes with people who are willing to step on each other just to climb up the fame ladder. Friendships that were not genuinely friendships. I had cases where I knew some photographers that were more or less being used, you know, because they're nice. They did it as a hobby. They already had their day job, and they wanted to shoot cosplay photography as for fun.
Right.
Later to find out, oh, so-and-so's been gossiping behind my back, or so-and-so used me for free photos, and now that someone more famous came, bye, I already found someone else. So, I mean, that's the part that can really eat away. And it comes with even, like, cosplayers together, you know, like, a person might be like, wow, she has over 100,000 followers. I want to work with her to get my name out. And then and you ditch all your old friends, you know, just to climb the fame ladder.
Got it.
So, if anything, I think that's one of it. But to be honest, that's anywhere, you know.
Yeah.
People are willing to step on each other.
Well, yeah, you know, that's why they always have that saying, like, it's a dog-eat-dog world.
Exactly. But I feel like at the end of the day, when you turn around and notice there's no more friends behind you, was it worth it at the end?
That is the ultimate question, and I think more and more people ask them themselves that as time goes on. So, now, you mentioned a lot that you travel from time to time. So where do you find time to make as many outfits that you make and also travel? So how long on average does each piece take you to make?
So it really just depends on the complexity of the cosplay.
Okay.
I tend to pick a con, for example, my last big cosplay I did was at PAX South.
Okay.
So I started about maybe like 3 months prior to the con. So it really just depends. For me, I'm a huge like organizer. Like if I find a costume or if I find a character I like, I go, okay, how do I go from A all the way to Z? What do I need to do step by step, pretty much? Like, what fabric do I need to buy? What pattern should I base it off on? What are the major components? So, honestly, a lot of it it just really depends. If it's something that I'm familiar with, like sewing, I tend to give myself less time. If it's something more complex I've never done, like, say, maybe even, like, making a weapon that's, like, from Monster Hunter. I'm like, wow, I've never used this material, or I have no clue how I need to sculpt this or 3D print it. I definitely give myself 6 months to a year. So it just really depends.
Okay. And one thing you said you were confident in was sewing.
Yes.
Right? So now that takes me back, because whenever we first started, you said get a sewing machine and go to YouTube. It sounded like you were more like new to sewing at that time.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I remember when I first got my sewing machine, I got, how do I put thread through this needle?
Okay.
What is this foot thing for? What is all this? There's like 35 different settings. I just needed to go straight. What's happening? So, but yes, definitely from when I first started up to now, I can say I've gained so much experience and learned so much just from the sewing aspect.
Okay. So, what would you say in making and designing the cosplay, would you say is probably your weakest thing that you're trying currently to improve on?
My weakest part would probably be working with like EVA foam. I've worked with Warbler in the past, and it's just super flexible. It works well with the heat, but it's super expensive.
Okay.
And I wanted to find a cheaper alternative, which a lot of people point towards, craft foam.
Right.
Famous cosplayers from, I want to say from Germany, Kamui Cosplay, everyone's seen her. She's done tons of Monster Hunter cosplay, all out of foam. The way that she just takes a sheet and turn it into a full hundreds of spikes going down her body, kind of cloth. That's admirable. And so that's something I definitely want to improve on, for sure.
Okay. All right. So, and how much would you say cosplay as like a hobby would cost someone who's just like starting out?
Also depends.
Okay.
You can do a simple, let's say you just like a schoolgirl outfit, maybe spend $20 to $30 on fabric. You might need to spend a little bit more if you're new to it because you might have some hiccups along the way. But for more complex stuff, it all just pretty much comes with time. For me, I remember my first big build took almost $300-$400, but that's because I didn't have a heat gun, I didn't have a soldering, I just didn't have the material. But now since I have everything, it just becomes much cheaper. Okay. And also there's the alternative. If you really like a costume, there's a lot of really nice quality made ones already through like AliExpress or Taobao that you can pick up for like $100. Because I'm not saying everybody should go and learn to sew, especially if you are more of a model or just want to have fun. So.
Okay. And what would you say is your favorite cosplay that you've made thus far?
My favorite one. So I know there's one particular cosplay. This was more of, I competed already for the first time. I think I took second place at DreamHack for the first novice group. And I felt really confident in my skills, so I made a kind of like a magical girl Moogle from like Final Fantasy. So it's a magical girl outfit, you know, kind of a self-design again. But you know, the cute Moogle ears, even had like LED lights in it and everything. But what made it my favorite was actually the experience and the memories I got through it.
Okay.
So I wore it for San Japan, I think I want to say back in 2017 or 2016. It's quite a while back. And I remember this was during the time that I was really good friends with my photographer that's now my boyfriend. Okay. And so I remember we were rushing, we were going, oh my god, we had to hurry up and make the shoot because, you know, he was running late, I was running late. But when we got to the location right outside the con center, the sun was setting so perfectly, like for a golden hour, and it just took one shot. Until this day, it's like my favorite photo, and it kind of just brought us together in the strangest way possible. So even though the cosplay itself wasn't as complex, it's just the memory I gained out of it. Until this day, I still have it hung up in my closet, and I don't think I would ever give it away, to be honest.
Well, that makes sense, because a lot of outfits that we wear, not even just cosplay outfits, but outfits in general, hold like deeper meaning, especially when certain things happen. Like everyone has like a lucky shirt or a lucky pair of pants, right?
That lucky pair of underwear that you bought back in 1998, where you probably should get rid of by now.
I mean, as long as you're washing them.
Right? Kudos to you. Make sure you sew up those holes that comes with it.
Right. So you also mentioned a little bit about your competing. Do you often compete in your cosplays?
I kind of took a step back. Okay. Not that I had a bad experience or anything. Mainly because I've been invited to more like group cosplays, so it did eat up more of my like time from making really big grand cosplays. I won't lie, I am semi-perfectionist, so like when I make something, I want it to be perfect. Okay. But then at the same time, I just find too much fun just wearing it that I forget to even compete with it.
Okay.
But ideally, fingers crossed, I would like to compete in this year's San Japan coming in September.
Okay.
So hopefully I want to get back into the grind. Because a lot of people say, well, Mel, you already make it from scratch. It's beyond out of this world. What are you doing, girl? Just go into it real quick.
Okay.
So.
And is there one that you have in mind that you would like to enter into San Japan, or would it be like a new piece?
So it would definitely be a new piece, okay. Mainly because I want it to be brand new for everybody, like even my followers or my friends that they've never seen before. Okay. So as of right now, I do have an idea. It is Lady Dahmelimelon from Digimon series.
Okay.
I do have a friend that is interested in making Angel Woman, so we wanted to compete together. So hopefully, fingers crossed, if everything works out well, that's definitely a piece I want to compete with.
That sounds pretty cool, especially with Digimon trying to make its like
comeback
right now,
right, exactly.
Where it's like everybody's older, pay attention to us, and then you're just like, no, you had me at when you brought back all the original characters.
Right, it's like I don't want to really care about your love story. I want to know how you and Patamon are doing, or you and Agumon eating like food together. Not so and so like so and so. Like what?
No,
what?
No, I mean like, are you about to force Agumon to digivolve again?
Right.
Like, or did you learn your lesson?
See, you got it.
Exactly. All right. So, would you say that you prefer like the competition aspect of it all, or do you prefer like what you said you've been distracted lately with a lot of group commission works and group pieces? So, I personally didn't know there was such there would be such a difference between the two.
Right.
As far as like making a work for just like competing and making a work for group.
That's true.
So
I guess mainly with group, the reason why I don't enter any of those pieces, a lot of times, a lot of people tend to be, more casual with it, like swim groups or very casual group, because I don't expect a lot of my close friends to go buy a sewing machine and learn how to make everything, Right. And it's actually, in my personal experience, not too many crafters as much as there was before, because it's just so easily to just buy a cosplay. Nothing wrong with it, but definitely on the crafter side, I feel like I'm lacking it. Okay. That way I can't compete with it.
Oh, okay.
But definitely I want to get more back into the competition aspect, because it's like I said, since I'm already making everything, what's stopping me, So.
Yeah, makes sense. So how many competitions would you say you've been in thus far?
So far I've only been into 2, which is I feel kind of bad because I sound like I'm talking so high, like I know everything, but I've only competed in 2, but I had such a great experience. Definitely knowing that the pre-judging time was one of my favorite part of just competitions in general, because you can talk to a panel of judges and they totally understand what you're saying, because in the pre-judging area they ask, okay, tell me everything about this cosplay. How did you start with an idea and made it into a reality? And, you know, just going from, oh yeah, I took this pattern and I had this trial and error. I remember when I was casting this, you know, and when I waited 3 days, it was so goopy and I was freaking out. And they said, oh yeah, totally, me too. So just being able to share that experience with other crafter enthusiasts is such a rewarding feeling, knowing that, I mean, it's like a comic book collector, you know? It's like, you can say, oh yeah, I got this issue. That's nice. Is it popular or something? Versus someone's like, whoa, what? You, where? How? Huh? So someone that actually connects with you, so.
Okay, so it's like a great experience in order for you to get, like, all of the, well, pitfalls and also greatest moments that you had.
Right, that you overcome. And then even sometimes there was one judge that says, well, have you tried this idea before? Or this method? And I was like, no, I haven't, but that's genius. You know, it's just small little things that really just brings a joy in me when it comes to the contest aspect.
That sounds like a whole different version of a competition, like one I've never heard before.
Right, because you would think, you know, everyone there would be like, kind of like, okay, show me what you got. That's fine. Next. Yeah. Instead, that everyone's just more of coming together and sharing their passion for making cosplay.
So that's great. It sounds like it's a great way to learn and at the same time period see what you're up against with other individuals who have that same passion that you do.
Right, and what's so amazing is no one there is like toxic about it, or at least my experience. No one's being like, I can't believe she used that silk instead of this blah blah blah. Like, there's none of that. Everyone's just like, wow, that's amazing. How much time did you put into it? Everyone's just fascinated by each other. So that's definitely one of the extreme positives I like from it.
All right, and out of your from your travels, from going to Toronto and all over the place, what would you say has been the most fulfilling part of your travels? Like, where have you gone where it's just been like, this place is amazing, like the cosplay is amazing, everything was just fantastic?
For me, I think my favorite would definitely be, there's two. Can I say two?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so in people-wise, I think my favorite place was actually in Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay.
My boyfriend actually goes there for a lot of work travel, and so he met a lot of just cosplayers in general. And I was kind of nervous at first. I was like, wow, you're already established with them. What if they think I'm just a tag-along girlfriend? You know, you get that fear, you know? But when I met them, everyone was just as passionate. They were super friendly, super welcoming, and it's the same concept, knowing that you have a hobby with someone and y'all can share it, you know? So definitely the people I met in Arizona, they're just down to earth. Definitely not the fame chasers that we tend to see from time to time. So that's definitely for sure what the people-wise. Unique-wise with travel, I think one of my favorite cons that I attended to out of state would be Colossal Con. Okay. The famous water park con. It's just knowing that I was able to go with a group of friends, and it became more of a wear costume play day where you're in your wig, you have a full face of makeup, but suddenly you're going down a water slide and you're like, hey guys, my eyelash still stayed on. I'm going to have to give Arta a good compliment saying that your eyelash glue is 10 out of 10 for letting it stay on after a whole water experience. But it's just the uniqueness of that con where not only are you having fun doing photo shoots and wearing your costume, but you're also hanging out with your friends at a full day water park. So how cool is that? That's definitely one of the more unique places I like the most.
And would you say like the majority of your friends are just as much into cosplay as you?
For the most part, I definitely know that most of my closer friends, they're a little bit more onto like, you know, the fun, casual cosplay side. They definitely are interested in looking into more complex stuff. So, not too many of them are like the extreme, like, I must make everything from scratch, which is absolutely fine. I'm just happy that I even have a group of friends now after high school that I can honestly trust with my life, with my personal life, that came from cosplay.
That's awesome. So it sounds like cosplay was not only a great indicator of like for you to have that growth after high school, where a lot of people find it in a lot of different things. It seems like you found it in cosplay.
Absolutely.
And also you found lifelong friends that not only are just friends, but also sharing a passion, so they can even at time periods be certain, like rivals to extent, in order for you to like develop and grow.
More. Exactly. You got it. So
that's pretty awesome. So overall, it sounds like cosplay has been a great experience for you, and you look forward to it in the future.
Oh, absolutely. Who knows how long I'll be doing it? Right. I even joke around sometime with my boyfriend, hey, we did like, you know, a little girl, can I dress her up as this? And then I'll be like, you know, you can be Inuyasha, I'll be Kagome, and that's gonna be our little kid, okay? That is going to happen. He'll be like, okay, you're crazy, but okay. So, who knows? Hopefully that's something that might happen in the future.
And speaking of the future, so where do you see yourself in the future? Like, where do you see cosplay taking you?
To be honest, I definitely looked at it as more as a hobby. I never really thought of it as a super professional sense. If anything, I just hope to, you know, grow a good amount of connections, you know, definitely just have fun, to be honest, you know, just make more lifelong memories. Because, you know, I hate to be the person who didn't do enough after college, you know, who just went straight to work and kind of just lived the same day by day, you know. I want to travel more, I want to make more friends and expand my knowledge and just kind of keep learning while I do it. So that's pretty much how I see it in the future. Take it nice and easy.
Huh? That's all I got.
Any closing remarks?
Oh, no, that was good. She said take it nice and easy. I wasn't going to say anything after that. That was